Welcome to Rock Solid, the Round Rock Business Leaders Podcast. Join your host, Bryan Eisenberg, as he explores the journeys of entrepreneurs and companies across Round Rock, Texas. From startups and nonprofits to large organizations, each guest shares their passion for doing business in this thriving community. Let's dive in.
Hi, everybody. It's Bryan Eisenberg, and welcome to Rock Solid. This week, I am joined by Kelly Moreno from the hold on, I got to get this right. It's Workforce Solutions, Rural Capital Area.
Correct.
How'd they come up with that name, first of all? As a marketing person, how'd they come up with that name?
I was on part of that. No, what happened, we used to be just one big workforce center, which included Travis County.
Okay.
And about almost 40 years ago now, we split with them and spread out so that all the money wasn't being sucked up by Travis County as the 9 counties grow. So we have the 9 counties surrounding Travis. So that's how we became rural capital.
Fair. Okay. Now, at least I understand the thinking behind it. I was curious because it is a mouthful.
It's a mouthful, and acronym does not flow. I am very much aware of that. So, but
Yes.
we just call ourselves Rural Cap. And
That works. So I know you because you and I both sit on the executive committee for the Round Rock Chamber. And I'm mostly really curious, because you do work with a lot of different counties, how does your role contributing to the Round Rock Chamber affect what you do on a day-to-day solution at Workforce, at the Workforce Solutions, but also how does that influence your work in the chamber?
That's a great question. So with Williamson County being our largest county of the 9 counties, obviously Wilco tends to lead the way because it's the largest. Not that we don't have a ton of growth going across all of Central Texas, which is an exciting time to be. We are in the perfect location, I feel. So what I get to hear from our communities out is seeing what's going on, and I can take back to the chamber and say, I'm hearing X, Y, or Z is happening in these counties. How can we play with them or get in that same sandbox and work together to build this community larger across the Central Texas? As that corridor is developing all the way to San Antonio, we are going to be the new Metroplex.
Yep.
It's coming, whether we like it or not. So it behooves us all to get together and work together to upraise everybody.
What's an example of one of those situations where you've brought everybody kind of together to do something like that?
So one of the things that we're hearing from our employers as we're going more into the manufacturing role, which is not typical in this region, but more manufacturers are coming in thanks to Samsung and Tesla. We got a lot of attention going to us, and so we needed to shift on how we handle that because our communities, our school systems weren't really built for that. Our community colleges, just because we just didn't do that. So one thing was the maintenance techs. Our employers said we don't have maintenance techs to maintain our machines. So when their lines go down, that's a lot of money. So what we created is an apprenticeship model with the partners at Texas State Technical College, and we just are graduating our first cohort in a couple of months. And so these individuals are already employed by their employers, and then they're going through the training so they can be upskilled to become the maintenance techs to keep these lines up and working. So that is across the entire region. We are working with TSTC to see how we can bring that out maybe into the New Braunfels campus as well, so it spreads out across the entire corridor because it just works that way. We've already got the curriculum, let's spread it out and across all of it.
Now, you're wearing these multiple hats because obviously you're, in your day-to-day job as the Chief Solutions Officer, which I definitely love that title.
I don't think the solutions are always good. I just come up with a solution.
Solutions are always good. Implementing them is a whole different story.
Exactly.
But you also head up the Workforce Talent Council.
Yes, on the chamber I do. And so working with Zach, who is a wonderful partner with me, we are developing some programming to work in our middle schools to educate them on different careers. Fortunate to work with my K-12 career coaches. They've just created a whole series of booklets on the 5 top industries that we've targeted in this region. So this is going to be tools that students and parents can research to say, what does this job pay in 3 years? How do you get the training? What does it require? And gives them the education to make a better decision on what they're going to do after high school. Because we know 60% of our graduating seniors do not have a 4-year plan. And 4-year plan does not mean college. It's just you need to know what are you going to do in June.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to give them tools to look at different options. College is wonderful, but it's not meant for everyone at 18.
Correct.
Maybe you go back later. It's always there. We need to be lifelong learners, so we want to encourage people to start different pathways and look at different ways to get into that career they want.
What's the biggest challenge you see today? I mean, when I was working with Google, they were a client of mine. Our friend Sajak used to say, working at Google was like, working on quicksand. Like everything was shifting under your feet at any time.
Right.
that feels like, maybe worse than quicksand in the work environment today. There's so much has changed, obviously, with AI, with just the state of where the world is today.
Right.
What's the big concern? I see it in my own household, my kids, but what's the big concern that you seeing both at the employer side and at the future employee side?
So I think for the employer side, it's getting that talent they need right now. And business works at the speed of light. So we can't wait, in 2 years I'll have an engineer out ready for you. We got to figure out those shorter training programs so they can get people on the floor right then and start to work. And then as they grow in their career, what are the opportunities for them to build that pathway? Is it on into an engineering or into a marketing or whatever that level is? We want to build that pathway. From the job seeker side, I think it's lack of knowledge.
Okay.
Of what is available out there. As I mentioned earlier, our industries are changing here in Central Texas, and a lot of us growing up here had never thought of manufacturing. We're like, what is that? Are they pulling, hot steel down this thing, and we're all going to burn? But it's completely different now. You're in a clean room, a safe environment, and the opportunities that you can do, starting from production tech, and you get all your way up into, lead engineers or whatever that could be. So educating the parents.
Yep.
Of those opportunities, because parents are the first persons, our kiddos.
They're the influencers.
You got to get the influencers. So we need, and at a certain age, which I think you and I may be of a certain age, we were all taught college is your pathway.
Yep.
And we know that's not true. And so we've got to educate parents to say, if you go into an electrical or a plumbing apprenticeship, 5 years, you're over 6 figures with no debt.
Yep.
And you can have your own firm, and then the sky's the limit with that. So we want to teach people, everybody, these opportunities are wonderful. There's no stigma about being X, Y, or Z. I know I want my HVAC to work every summer, so those people are lifesavers when they can come fix my HVAC. So that's the biggest challenge for us, is getting that education out. And there's a lot of groups doing that. And so we really, as a workforce board, are trying to convene everybody so we're all telling the same message at the same time instead of working against each other. So, bringing all our partners together, the chambers, the ISDs, EDCs, community colleges, E3 Alliance, anybody will talk to us. We're going to go out there and chat with you and see how we can work together.
Which is amazing. And it's one of the things that we've heard so much through this podcast with all the guests that we've had is just how strong a community and how well everyone here plays together as opposed to other communities. What kind of challenges do you see in some of the other communities that maybe don't play so well together that you wish they learned from here?
Right. We actually had the opportunity to present last week at a national convention for workforce. And what we were showing was how our groups can work together across different board levels and different counties. We were partnering with out of Travis County, say that we come together and say, how can we solve this problem? I don't care what your county line is. And as you mentioned, I think we are unique here on the collaboration that everyone's willing to step in and put their stakeholders aside and say, we're going to make this work. Well, that's what I see is people wanting to hold on to their stakeholder. And this is our mission, and you can't come across. I'm like, well, but maybe we do this better than you, or you do that better than I do, so you take that. And then how can we build around this and make this work together? So it's being open to those conversations and being willing to put your ego outside the door.
Now, you come from a corporate marketing background where I'm sure you've dealt with a lot of big egos all over the place. So you're uniquely qualified to understand that. What I'm mostly curious about, though, is, I've got, my daughter's, well in her career. My middle one is, I don't think I can announce it publicly, but he's about to become a part of a store manager at a newly opening store. Cool. I'm not going to give out the details about that. And my youngest is still in high school trying to figure out, what he wants to do. And again, the earth is shifting under him literally day by day, just... We talked about some of the work I was doing with Claude this past week. That wasn't available 2 years ago.
No, it was not.
Right? So things are really changing. If you're a parent of somebody today, whether they're in high school already or in that middle school, from a learning perspective, what's the things that you're saying, hey, these are never going to go out of style? Like, just if you focus on this as a base, you'll have something to work from. Well,
and in Texas, we have a middle skills gap, which is that's your trades mostly, and those production line people. If you can do something with your hands, most of the time there's not something that a robot can do. There are some things robots can do, but there's a lot robots can't do yet. So we always are pushing, learn how to do something, a certificate program. If you want your engineering degree, fine, but get a certification in doing something as well. And we're starting to see the universities adding those certifications into their programs because they realize we have heard... was it soldering? Someone told me the engineers needed to solder something, but they never had been taught. So those sorts are starting to be added in so they could build those breadboards or whatever they're trying to do, because they actually need to do technical work, so not just the greater thinking work. It's all part of it. So if you can get some certifications, I know our high schools have a ton of certifications running through there. So I encourage the students to get involved in that. There's dual credit versus AP classes. As a parent, I'm a proud dragon mom, so
Same.
So my kiddo's already out. But I personally pushed for the dual credit because I knew they could get that instead of having to pass an AP test. Not they did take AP classes, but I knew I would guarantee a school credit with that AP work versus having to take the AP test and see if you scored 3 or above. That's my personal thing. Nothing about workforce, but
no. But it's just an interesting venue, because I think a lot of parents, here and across the country, are trying to figure out what's next, and just having some direction is better than just trying to go through the world blindly.
Right.
Now, I want to come back to that title, Chief Solutions Officer, because I know you have a bunch of great solutions that that you've rolled out, including like the teacher externship program, which is, I think, fabulous, because teachers have months off, and I remember in my school, right? Cam Hauser talked about this, right? It's great to hear from academics, but when they don't have real tactical experience. Right. Lots of students pick up on that, and it's a big disconnect immediately. So tell us about this externship program, and how could some of the business owners who are listening to this take advantage of that and benefit not only obviously their kids in school, but also maybe get some extra help in their office as well for a little bit.
Yeah, so this program's been going for a long time, and I think Round Rock ISD was one of the first ones, and someone's going to correct me. I think 2014, but around. It's been around a while. So it's an opportunity for our teachers to go in and shadow the businesses in the areas they're teaching. So we try to focus on a CTE teacher or career technical education teacher, and our counselors, so they can provide guidance to those teachers. The teachers get to tell us what they want to go see, and so then we work with our chamber, Zach. So if any businesses involved, get with Zach Scott. He can help you out, and he makes a connection for them and kind of runs that program. And mostly what we do is the paperwork behind the grant and provide the funds.
That's a meaningful part of it.
Yes. So.
And then I know you mentioned at a recent board meeting about some of these other internships that are available for companies.
Yes, and that's through the Texas Workforce Commission. They have their own website, and I will have to drop in the check because I blanked on the name again. They just changed the name, so that's why I can't remember.
I think it was like
Texas Intern
Connect or something like that.
Yes, it's on our website as well. So this is an opportunity for college students. So it's only for college students. TWC will pay half the salary.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be a summer intern. It can be whenever you want it at the time. There is a minimum requirement of how many days they have to work. So 3 months pretty much is what it is. But then there's also vocational rehab, which is a section of TWC that's for disabled individuals. And they will provide internships, and they pay for everything.
Okay.
And all the accommodations. I'm getting ready to start interviewing for one for our marketing department, so I'm very excited to bring one on board to help us out. But then it's a great opportunity for these individuals to get work experience and build their credentials and their portfolios and what.
So if someone like Bill, who runs No Time for Social, wanted to get somebody and wants to have a slot open where he can train somebody, what would that process look like?
So first I would say get in contact with us, and then we will connect you to the appropriate person if it's not through us. And that way we can kind of watch it for you and help you work through any paperwork.
Okay, and then there's all kinds of talented people that...
So many talented people out there that we are just missing the opportunity, and they want that opportunity to come out and work.
And what kind of businesses? Like, we have a lot of business owners listening. So
anything. We can find you for whatever. Tell us what you're looking for, and we'll go search. That's our job, and we're glad to go do that. And we'll work with our partners at Texas Workforce Commission to see how we can help get you to what you need. As for the vocational rehab, they will provide the accommodations. That's at no cost to you as the employer, and that's even if you hire someone with this. TWC will cover that. That's part of their programming. So that's a big, huge thing. If someone's wheelchaired or needs assistance, they'll build the ramp for you. It's all kinds of things that they can do for you, and computer screens, anything special like that.
They'll manage all of that.
They'll take care of that for you.
What's the one thing that you see day to day in this industry that most people get wrong, but that they continue to do it every day?
For workforce?
Yeah.
Most people think the workforce solution is the unemployment office.
Okay.
And we are separate. That's handled solely at TWC. We don't do the unemployment.
Okay.
You need to call TWC for that. We handle bringing in, helping employers find employees or upskill their current employees. Our first customer is the employer. So
Okay.
Texas is different than a lot of other states in how they run their workforce. So we put employers first because
Okay.
they drive the demand. I can't tell an employer, hey, I've got X when they need Y. That's not going to help anything. So we listen to our employers, and then we job match behind the scenes. And if they need to upskill current staff, we'll help them upskilling. We have funds available through the Texas Workforce Commission to do that for them, and we'll help write those grants as well.
Can you give an example of like someone who's come in there saying they need to upskill?
Yeah, we just had one here in Round Rock. I can't say their name.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
He needed to upskill to some new equipment. It's in the semiconductor field, so it's a governor's priority list. So, and we did a skills development fund, and we were able to raise $145,000 for him to upskill 66 employees. And so that, for him,
that's very meaningful.
Being meaningful, and he gets to upskill his staff. And the staff, it stays because they know they're valued and they're being skilled and learning something, so they know the company values them. So the retention numbers are there. So it all kind of flows together. And that's one thing I want to also think is if you're an employer and you're not retaining for some reason, let us come work with you. We have business consultants that will sit down with you and chat about let's dive in and see what's going on. We'll do a strategic plan with you and figure out what we can do to help you support you through those different challenges that you might have.
So let me kind of use that as an example. So my wife and I own a home care agency, which has traditionally a horrible turnover rate, right? 80%. We're luckily not as high as that. You would sit with the owners of a home care agency and see how they can help retain
is there something we can? I know it's probably mostly salaries. We know those are not the highest paid, right? And hard work.
Hard work,
and very emotional work. We could sit down and say, okay, this is what we've seen in the similar industry. This might be little tweaks that maybe it's an extra day off. It could be whatever. Things like that is simply, and this is all at no cost to the employer because everything we do is no cost.
And all they have to do is get in touch with you guys.
Get in touch with us, yeah. And we will, someone will come out and meet with you and show you all the different resources we have. First we listen, and then we try to target what we think you might need, and then we just keep moving the needle as we keep moving through.
If there's one thing you could tell employers today about being prepared for what's coming in the workforce, what would you want to educate them on?
Look at your job descriptions.
Yes.
Do you really need that bachelor's degree? What are the skill sets you're requiring, and what is the job?
Yep.
Are they matching up? If they're not, let's see why. And is that just you just inherited? We all get a little behind and can't go rewrite a job description.
Yep.
We just throw that. Oh, that worked. But put it through ChatGPT or Claude or somebody and say, this is the job they have to do.
Yep.
Write me the skills. And so that's one of the things is if you could really dive down and spend the time. Another thing is if you're interested in working with workforce, because I encourage everyone to come work with workforce, designate someone who is assigned just to work with workforce and can be your champion in the company. Because if it gets too spread out, it just everything, because this is government funded, so we do have to do a few things as government money, and it's not hard, and sometimes it's time consuming.
Yeah.
We don't always move as fast as everybody else, but we are there to help you. But if we can't find a champion, it makes us hard to keep that movement. And the companies that have been most successful getting money through TWC are the ones that have a champion. And
that just naturally makes sense.
It makes sense, yes. And usually it's an HR person, but it doesn't have to be.
If you had to put your corporate marketing hat on again to kind of market new positions that we're going to be rolling out in the next 10 years, how are you positioning those?
That would be hard.
I'm trying to give you a tough one. Yeah,
give me a tough one. I would say we have got to write the job descriptions that individuals would be adaptable to the new technology.
To change.
Change. It's not always going to be the same. And our younger generation, the Gen Zers, do a fabulous job on that. I know they get a lot of bad press, but everyone I've worked with is a rock star. And I just see so much potential. And because we get to work with students every day, it's always just thrilling to be with them. And they are willing to do that change. And they're going to question And we have, as adults, the older adults in the room, need to be willing to listen to that and go, okay, they do have a good idea. Let's try. Why? Why not? Let's try it. So I think that's one thing is, as older, as we're in the leadership roles, is be open to those suggestions and see where it will take us, because they're the ones that are going to move the companies to the next level, or you're going to die.
And for employees who are either getting ready to jump into the workforce or about to go to the workforce, what do you want them to take away about what job security, what all of that is looking like for the future?
And that is a very good question, because we're not seeing that anymore. People are jumping quite frequently, and which is hard as a corporation to keep constantly rehiring.
And it's expensive because you have to retrain
and you lose 6 to 12 months. And it's I think I heard it's like $30,000 to hire somebody, and that's a entry level. Exec's even higher. I think for an employee, find out what you want to do. We have resources that let you take a test, and you can see where your natural inclinations are. So
some skill finder type
skill
stuff.
Finder, and they're all over the and they're available everywhere. But that way you can go through. We also have a thing called Texas Reality Check, which lets you figure out how much it might cost if you want to live. Say I want to live in Austin in a 3-bedroom house. Okay, well this is, and then here's your internet costs, here's your phone, and it breaks everything down. So how much you need to make? This is what you need to make. These are the careers that make these. And here's your education. You have to go get that. I was in a school, and someone had this really dream list of a great life, and it was a $180,000 salary they needed to make. It was an eye opener for her, because you're like, well, you need to be an MD, and and this is going to be, and here's your college costs. So that's what I think students need to really take some time and look at. I know telling an 18-year-old, I'm still. Don't know what I want to do. My career has changed over multiple times. So
I was a formal social worker turned entrepreneur, now own a home care agency, still marketing consulting.
And I'm sure when you were in school, you're like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I think that's another thing is students need to find those natural skill sets and what makes you happy. And for me, when I connect resources, that makes my day. I'm like, it's been a good day today. And so, and that takes time to learn. But, just being willing to learn those things and keep trying new things and being open to that is, job seekers need to really just explore what they're interested in. We have career coaches. We're just actually down the street from our building in the Round Rock office. So they'll help you. They'll walk you through the process. And, if there needs to be training, we'll see what we've got available. We may have some funds. We may not. Just depends on what the day looks like, but there may be some opportunities there as well to help you and assist in that area.
Well, let's talk about resources, because we're here in Round Rock.
Yeah.
What's some of your favorite resources here in the area? Just obviously not work wise, but just
Really, gosh, I've been here 24 years. I had to count up. I was like, how long have I lived in Round Rock? So 24 years. Resources wise, I love just going downtown and walking around, checking our library system out. Our library is fantastic. And, of course, the Dell Diamond, Kalahari, they're always so much fun. And this, it's just being able to be out in I love our community here and how everyone comes together to help. I had the privilege of working a lot with the Round Rock ISD PTAs when I had kiddos in school. And that group is such a powerful group of individuals that really are making our school district great. And the parent involvement in our district, our ISD is fantastic. I like all our ISDs, but I'm biased to Round Rock, as everyone knows. But I'm just impressed with what we do here every day. Mayor Morgan and the council does a great job of really focusing on livable areas. I just went and toured all cellars. I hadn't been over when they'd done all that work. I was a little slow on getting over there, but we were like, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. So those green spaces, that's where I enjoy the most, is the green spaces.
Well, terrific. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Of course.
And really appreciate you educating, both future employees and employers on what they can do in the community.
Yeah, please reach out to us because we're here to help.